Right, there you go, Rog. You wanted to see it. This is the entrance to my, I don't like the word man cave, but my room. Right, so we'll get in. So what I'll do, I'll just start on the left. There's a collection there of First World War relics from around the Somme area. I've labelled them all, identified them all. There were some real bullets there, but I've drilled out the sides, so they're all sort of inert now. Very strict firearm regulations over here. There's probably some parts on there that are component firearms, like part of that hand grenade up there that's obviously no good and never be used again. But it's part of a Mauser rifle at the bottom. Still got the bullet up the chamber. I've drilled through the side. You have a German model 1898 bayonet, third pattern there, still with part of the scabbard as it was probably being attempted to be withdrawn. It's a British 1907 bayonet, just the handle, the other bit's snapped in half, just a small funnel there. Another complete bayonet. There's the first pattern, 1898 German bayonet. Another first pattern above. And then a very nice French Lebel spike bayonet. And all the rest really is just bits and pieces. That's part of a Lee Enfield there with the bayonet still attached. Just part of the sight there. And part of the barrel. Again, you know, never be fired, but that is a component firearm, so probably illegal over here. Pair of goggles, great goggles, love them. One glass missing, part of a gas mask obviously. I like to think that saw action. Some barbed wire. That's the butt plate of a Lee Enfield at the top there, with the cleaning cap open. Machine gun core cap badge, and those little balls are shrapnel shell from the shrapnel shells that were fired over. I can't tell you where they're from, what country fired them. But that is a Vickers machine gun belt that was all in pieces, and I stuck all the bits together with glue, all the canvas together, and refitted some real 303 ammo there that's I've deactivated it by drilling it out and getting all the stuff out. So that's it. I love that item. That's one of my best things I've got. Bought most of that in a carrier bag for 20 quid over here about 10 years ago. Bloke didn't know what he was doing. Fantastic stuff. My Cub Scouting days. Very proud of the Leaping Wolf badge. That's a marksman badge. Judging by the green on there, I think that was probably like Royal Rifles or something like that. That's a fake Colt 45 Peacemaker, I believe. Not a very good model, but my dad, I bought it for my dad one Christmas and he didn't want it, so he gave it to me back. These are parts of Adornia, or part of Adornia, from a crash site. That's all listed there. I know the aircraft it come off and everything. And this stuff is chaff, what the British used to drop to confuse enemy radar. All those bits are millions and millions of pieces of aluminium that used to sharpen radar and just blot it out. A few medals up there from my medal collecting days. First World War Iron Cross. You should know that one, Purple Heart, Croix de Guerre. Order of Red Star, Russian. Second World War Iron Cross, and that blue one is a mother's cross for having 5 or more children. That's a bronze for 5 children. Got a bronze piece round the crest there. If that was silver, I think that would be like 7 children or 8, and if it had gold it would be 8 or more. Again, down below, that's an Imperial Service Medal. That's to a postman, so you'd have to do about, I don't know, 30 years impeccable service to be nominated to get that. That's British. That there is a German Iron Cross, First World War, and a War Merit Cross. So both bravery awards there. So going across. Now this is really good. I don't know if you can see it, I've got so much junk in here. If I can see that airship down there. I can't get down there. Right, that's the L-31, First World War Zeppelin, a model. And these are parts of that taken from the crash site. They were sold for war bonds, and the tags are still on them, that people bought that for about a shilling in those days, I believe. Parts of the actual internal structure there. There's 2 pieces. There's some photographs of the site. That's rather grim. That is where the captain landed after he jumped out of the blazing wreck, which is a couple of postcards there of it coming down. And he made an indentation in the ground there, and apparently he was still alive. I don't know whether that's true or not. But anyway, those relics are really good. Love those. Right, top shelf, first steam engines. That's my wreck of an a Bowman M122. That's my next project to do. I've had this a few years now. Never got around to doing it. It's in a bit of a state, but it's all there, everything. Couple of Bings. Lovely engines, recent purchases, both run really well, and a few more models up there. That's the Hindenburg, I built that from a plastic model kit. Vulcan Bomber and a Hawker Hunter, just models. I didn't build those, they're die cast. Right, if we come down, I like snakes, so you ain't going to wake up. There's a corn snake in there, but you won't see him, he's asleep. He's fed last night, so he's probably digesting that meal. So we're moving on. There's my Meccano big wheel that I've had running. It's on my YouTube channel, being run. It was an electric model, but I adapted it to run off a pulley from a steam engine. That's a musket ball mould. Let's put it up. See that? So you would pour the lead in there and make your mould and tip it out. These are found over the field near where I live, but that's probably the size. I will make a few with that mould eventually, so I want to get around to it. I say just a few other toys there. Hot air engine that don't work at the moment, it's got a bit dusty, need to strip that down. A couple of old fishing reels, copy Victoria Cross, and now my Wilsco workstation. Complete wreck when I bought it. There's an article on my what do you call it, British Steam Forum about the repairs to that and what it entails. Complete block of rust when I got it, and now it's a lovely D6 Wilsco engine that runs all those beautiful. Right, let's turn this light on. Sorry if I'm being a bit long-winded, but you did want to see it. Stuart engines now, Victorian mill engine at the back there, Stuart number 9. Put that box out of the way. Mammoth, completely rebuilt, a bit rusty, but runs lovely now. This is where I do a lot of my work up here. You won't believe it at the moment, but I mean, I do the heavier work down in the dining room, which is frowned upon by her who rules. And then just a few models up here. This is a complete block of rust and Mank, re-put that back together. It's a Mamod SE2. Same again, these are all rebuilds by me. I've rebuilt all of these. You got the Bowman another M122 there, put back, working order. I can't remember what that one is. That's an E135 I believe, and I think that one there is an M135 and a PW208 at the back, all completely rebuilt. Mamods SE3, 3 of those, all built, rebuilt up the top. SE2s, all of those. I didn't rebuild these. This is a Wilsco steamroller at the top there, Wilsco Locomobile, and a Mamod TE1A. I bought those. And little Mamod there, I forgot what it was, it MM1 or something like that, I don't know, still works, good. Right, some of my reproduction weapons. These are made of sprung steel. They're exactly the same, well, probably better than the original. Can't turn it on the edge because the screen, but if I go back a bit, the one to your left there with a black handle, that's a British 1.5 hand longsword. You've got a battle axe next to that, and then next to that in the middle is a British, I think it's British, but that is a 2-handed greatsword. What a fantastic thing that is. That's razor sharp. I reckon I'd cut a pig in half if I could get a pig. And next to that is Warhammer. Top there you've got a sword breaker. Not sure that really would have broke a sword, but it would certainly have caught it, tangled it up, and you could have perhaps wrenched it out of the hands. That would be used in a conjunction with the next sword next to that, which is a rapier. Go back, that's the one with the curved handle guard at the top. Next to that is the matching hand sword, because all rapiers, they used to fight with or duel with 2 weapons. You had a dagger, which up there your choice was a sword breaker, or here, which is the matching dagger for that. So these are all razor sharp. These are all, as they call it, battle ready, all made of sprung steel. And that's a real sorry, I think it's Italian cavalry sword. Never really been able to identify it. And next to that, I'm going to forget the names of these. I could find them out there, but that's a British something helmet with the neck guard. Obviously these are all reproductions. You've got the film Gladiator helmet there. That would probably never have been used. I don't know if that was ever taken from a real Gladiator's helmet, but I don't know. Anyway, there's a Roman half set of armour there, and a set of gauntlets next to that. And at the top there you've got a Crusader helmet. You've probably noticed the rifle bolted to the wall next, just before that. That is a Lee Enfield, I think it's a Mark II, 1916. That's a real gun. I bought that as being bored out to a 410 shotgun, smooth bore. So somebody had bored that out, and I had that on my shotgun licence for years. And then I wanted to take it off my licence because I started building up accumulation of shotguns. So I had it deactivated, and that's how it stands now. So that is got a certificate for being deactivated. It's got the 1916 bayonet on top of there as well, and that's in perfect condition. Top of that over there, over in the corner, I can't really get, I'll see if I can zoom in a bit. That's the number plates from my first car when I was a young thing. The top one is a Spitfire remains from a crash site, and the pilot died in that, unfortunately. That's part of a reserve fuel tank plate. And below that is a Messerschmitt 109, part of the inner airframe. The pilot died in that also, unfortunately. These are known crash sites this is bought from. So these people dig this stuff and they sell it, usually at military fairs and stuff like that. Various, I think they're tube buckles and stuff. These are all metal detecting finds from a field very near us. I collect fossils and stuff like that. They're all teeth from the potash mines in Africa. More swords. So there we got a Gladius. No, it's not. I forgot the name of it, isn't it? It's a type of Gladius, but it's the posh one. That's Roman. Again, these are all sprung steel, very sharp. Could use them. That's a British sword. Next to that, I can't remember the name again. That's a Viking broadsword, the one with the pommel on top. And then these bayonets are all real. You know what, I can't, without getting over there, I think the first one's a Remington, American Remington. The one next to that is a French Lebel, which you've already seen a picture of. Next to that is a very good First World War Turkish bayonet. Second World War, these are going in the middle row now. The left is a Japanese Second World War bayonet. In the middle is a British Second World War bayonet. Next on the end is a musket, British musket bayonet. That would have come off like the Black Bess type of gun. It would have been a lot longer than that in those days, but as the time went on, they was a bit unwieldy, and the armoury filed a lot of these, or sorry, ground or cut these down to the short version you see now. Down the bottom to the right is a Swedish Mauser. The one in the middle there, I think, is from Finland, just a Second World War bayonet, and the run on the end is a Russian. That's probably 1960s, 70s, and that's a fantastic thing. That's a wire cutter as well. You take the scabbard off and turn it around the other way, that cuts wire. I've used that. That's really good. So over in the corner we've got my collection of Daleks and the Terminator. The more gruesome things, these come out of a skip, and the work that went into a lot of those, like that earthworm there, that's completely dissected and labelled, and the rabbit skeleton. I mean, it's fantastic work. It's a work of art in its own, so I couldn't leave that thrown there. A couple of Darth Vader and Action Men from childhood. That piston there was part of my second car. Beautiful car. That let go going down the motorway at 100 miles an hour, and you can see the piston exploded at the top, so that one looked good. Up there we've got a Mammoth SE2. We've got an SEL 1330, I think, something like that, and then another SEL. I think these are SEL. I can't remember. Where are you? That would be a. Get down something a bit of a dick, not knowing what they're called. Hang on. Sorry, that's a Mersey. A Mersey engine. I think that's a 1550. I think. Oh, bother. I've left the burner underneath there. Yeah, I think that one is an SEL. Yeah. So that's about it really, other than my train layout, which I'll zoom back a bit. I've always had as a young lad. This is the rebuilt version. So we can get a few trains going. A bit noisy. It's a Battle of Britain class, a Merchant Navy class. Again, my brain's going, so I won't even bother to name them. I do know them. If I sit down and think about it, I do. And there's an automatic line. That line there is a branch line, goes around the back. Just follow that on its journey. There you go. And that's fully automated. That's every 35 seconds or so that will reverse and come back. With an auto, that's an auto coach on the back, they used to call that in real life. So the driver used to get out of the steam train, go round to the back of that coach, the front to the, what would be the front now, coach, and all those controls of the steam train would be replicated and he would drive it backwards, all the way back to the other station. So, give you a few circuits of this. And of course, I haven't just got one train at each load. If you look under there, there's probably 50 or 60 coaches. Look under there, more coaches and trains. I've probably got 40 or 50 steam trains all there, they're all like stacked up. So sorry if that was a bit juddery, but we'll put down there. Oh, I've got some more train. I've got some more engines down here. On here, you can see that. That's my Stuart steam plant. It takes 4 engines. There's 2 on there at the moment, a Stuart S50 and a Stuart number 8 and a 504 boiler. And that's on YouTube, and it's powering 4 engines at once, that boiler. I've got a Stuart Beam engine downstairs and another S50, and it runs all that lot together. That's a Mersey 53, that's a GR, that's quite a rare model because it's geared and reversed. That was a wreck when I got it, and it's quite nice now. Behind that is a Wilsco, I think it's a D20. Never steamed that yet, but I will do. And a Stuart 501 boiler. So if I go around the other side, you come to the end now if you're bored or fell asleep. This is all my stuff, this is all my fishing gear and work stuff, a Dremel and drills and God knows what. That's my collection of SE2s. There's a very early, what do they call that, MM1 engine there. But, they've all been running. I bought these as a collection, so I've done nothing to these. Probably a couple of them are my rebuilds at the back there, but no, I think there's 6 there. I've got 7 I bought. So that's it. So that's my tour. I haven't shown you everything because we'll be here all week. But it gives you a rough idea. I come up here a lot just to relax, set this thing going. Just an end-to-end, a nose-to-tail layout, nothing special. It took me a week to put together. There's 300 trees on there, some hand-built. Top section there. I've got a model of American Big Boy engine, which is there. Had that running on this a week or so ago, but I can only run it from there to there because, like an idiot, I forgot I had it and I didn't make enough room. between the rail and that bridge, and it's such a big engine, it's a bridge, so I can't run it. It's clever, isn't it? So that's it, Rog. You asked for it, you got it. 25 minutes of it. Thank you.